Hello friends, this is Thaddeus from GoingNerdy, and I'm excited to introduce a new video segment along with a competition that I'm also going to be kind of hosting over the next few months. And if this takes off, if you guys enjoy it, then we will be continuing to do this throughout the year. One of the things that I've been able to participate in for the last couple of years is called Fantasy Movie League. Now, Fantasy Movie League is essentially fantasy sports, but for people who don't like sports, but who love movies. Now, it is a ton of fun. Each week you have 8 screens that you can play movies on. You have 1,000 FML bucks. That means Fantasy Movie League, not the other thing. But what you can do is you spend that $1,000, those 1,000 movie bucks, on different movies that are showing during that week. And what you're trying to do is see how much those movies will earn and find which combination of films will earn you the most revenue. Now, the way that it's calculated is they look at how much money that movie is going to be making over the weekend. Now, some movies, like for example this week, Solo, since it's a debut movie, it's broken down into multiple days instead of just one lump movie. Last week, DeadPool was broken down into a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and you could choose between those 3 different ones. Now, the goal of this league is to simply beat your opponents, right? I'm gonna go ahead and kind of just walk you through my thought process of how the films, the upcoming movies, are going to do. Now, this week we have DeadPool. It is going to cost 680 fantasy movie bucks. Then we have Friday's Solo, that's 587. Saturday's Solo, 371. Sunday's Solo, 332. And because this is a holiday weekend, Monday's Solo, which is 271. Beneath that, we have Avengers, Book Club, Life of the Party, Show Dogs, Breaking In, A Quiet Place, Overboard, RBG, Rampage, and I Feel Pretty. Now, I think that DeadPool, the hype of DeadPool is just going to keep going. I think it's just going to continue. It did really well last week. Overall, it made $126 million. Now, based on my experience, that drops off maybe by, I don't want to say a half, but possibly a quarter. Now, keep in mind that this movie's rated R, and while you can still get into a rated R movie if you're underage, it's a little bit harder now than when I was growing up. So I do think that with Solo coming out, there's going to be a lot more competition for a younger audience. But you're going to have a lot of people who didn't see DeadPool last week who aren't Star Wars fans who are going to see it this week. So I still think it's going to be the #1 pick. Now, the question that has to be asked is, will DeadPool make more money than maybe 2 or 3 different versions or 2 or 3 different instances of Solo? So for example, I could put all 3 Solo movies for Monday in my first 3 slots and, still have enough to, fill up my last 5 screens. Now, here's the thing though, Monday, yeah, it's a holiday, but people still have to go to work on Tuesday. If I were going to put more than 1 Solo in, I'd probably want to go for Saturday or even Sunday. Sunday's a little cheaper, which means it can save you a little bit of money in the end. Now, the reason why I think Sunday might actually be more beneficial than Monday, or might make more money than Monday, is because people aren't going to work the day after, right? People will still have that holiday, so they can stay out late, they can go see a later showing. I could choose Friday, and I could only put 1 Friday Solo in, but Friday actually encompasses all Thursday night showings and all of Friday, so that does give it that added boost. Now, if I did 1 for Friday, I could only do 1 more. Now, I could do a Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. I'm gonna say that I think that it's more likely that Sunday solos are going to do better, so I'm gonna put 2 Sunday solos in, and then I'm gonna put a Monday solo in. That leaves me with 61 fantasy movie bucks. I could fill up the rest with the movie I Feel Pretty, but personally, I don't like Amy Schumer. And I know that that's not a really scientific way to base my decisions, But what I can do is I can actually click on the title here and I can see how the film has performed. I can also look just in other areas like, Fandango or IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes and see how the movie's actually performing. The concern I have with Solo is there's a lot of kind of hit and miss. A lot of the people who have seen it have said that it's good and that's it. But good for a Star Wars movie actually means it's bad, and fans know exactly what I'm talking about. Will it do well? Yeah, it absolutely will do well. Will it do as well as maybe DeadPool? I don't know. I think the reviews for DeadPool really speak for itself. Book Club, which has Diane Keaton, Jane Fonda, Candice Regin, Mary Steinberger, did fairly well last week. It made $13 million over the weekend. Typically, movies like this are cut in half. Now, could this make $6 million? Yeah, it could. It probably will make at least $6 million, but I'm just not feeling it. I'm still gonna go with Solo. I might want to try the Avengers Infinity War. Last week made $29 million. Very solid movie. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the Friday showing on Monday, which encompasses Thursday and Friday. I'm going to throw in Monday because I think it's going to do well. I don't know exactly how well it's going to do. Then I'm going to throw in The Quiet Place. I think that it's a really solid film. The reviews that I've heard have been spectacular. If you look at the actual trend, after the initial drop-off, it made a ton of money opening weekend and then just kind of has steadily decreased. Now, it's made $3.9 million last week. I still think that it's going to do better than I Feel Pretty. Overboard hasn't had really spectacular reviews, and to be honest, I don't think a lot of people know about it. I loved the movie when it was with Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell back in the, I think, 80s. It was great. Sometimes remakes are good, sometimes they are this, and I think that's what we're seeing here. I think we have a third category. Now, we have the fans who are going to see Solo, right? Very excited. They have a ton of different demographics that are going to be seeing it. We have those that are super fanboys and those who love them who are also going to see the film. I'm going to put in Quiet Place because it's a solid date night movie, especially for those people who are not into fantasy. Then I'm going to throw in Rampage because I do feel like Rampage is going to do a lot better than Amy Schumer's I Feel Pretty. Now, maybe I'm misreading Amy Schumer and her crowd. Very possible. Women are difficult to understand. Here's the thing. Let's assume that this is the perfect lineup. There are other people who will most likely choose the perfect lineup. And I can choose a tiebreaker here. Now, there's a few different ways that they do tiebreakers. You can read about it in the how-to section. They have a whole, so on and so forth, like a whole breakdown of how the tiebreaker system works for this. Now, what I'm specifically going to do is I'm going to debate on how well DeadPool is going to do this weekend. Now, it's projected to make anywhere between $54 and $69 million, which this is a big weekend for moviegoers. So I'm going to put it right there at about $65 million. Now, if for whatever reason I get first place in my league, then if I tie with someone, this is where the tiebreaker comes down. It is unlikely that someone will have the exact same score as I do, unless they see this and then choose the exact same score. Then I'm pretty sure they have a backup plan for it. Now, with that, guys, this is a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed it. You can join my league up through Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, what's interesting, at that time, the event locks, so feel free to join us. This round will start on May the 26th and goes to, I think, the first week in September. It's about 13 weeks per season. The weekend ends on Monday at 5 o'clock, so you can check your scores, see how you did at Monday at 5. Your picks have to be locked in by Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Yeah, Pacific Standard Time. That being said, guys, join me, join your friends, create your own group. I'm going to be doing weekly videos, really brief ones that kind of just recap how movies did in this last week, how my particular league is performing, winners of that week, and then I am also going to be doing upcoming fills and predicting how I think they're going to be doing. Now, that being said, guys, leave a comment in the section below if you are interested. What do you think about my current lineup? Don't be surprised if I tinker with it, because I am a tinkerer. It is what I do, my friends. Now, this has been Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and as always, my friends, stay nerdy.